Okay, so welcome again, and it's another time to do some serious talking, except that today is not politics, but entertainment and making the world believe that some of the stories we tell, they have resonance in your mind, in your heart, in your home, in everything that you do. Yeah? And that's why we have one of the, should I say budding? No, I think he's made a mark for himself. You know, with Tinsel, he was Kunle Remi, the bad boy. In Anikulapo, he was Kunle Remi. I don't know whether it's spiritual. I don't know what it is anymore. But anyway, Kunle, welcome to the program. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well. So you've been recording and filming and everything. How has it been for you? Okay? Not tight, not too difficult?
It's been absolutely worth it.
Absolutely worth it. So it's worth it to be here with me.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, good. So I'm doing the right thing then at the right time, right?
Yes, sir.
How was the production so far? Talking about this one, what you're doing now.
So far so good. It's been great. Which one in particular? Because
how many are you doing together?
So I'm doing something and presenting. I'm doing a live presentation of a show as a host.
Okay. I didn't know that. Thank God.
And then I just wrapped
up.
So
you're doing what I'm doing now, right?
No, you're a legend. You're a veteran, sir.
Okay.
I'm trying to be like you.
Really?
So I'm in the ring. I'm sparring in the ring.
So I'm a legend, as the Beninese will say. Yeah. And you are what? Icon.
And thank you. Can you hear that? I think you are hearing.
But you are really. I mean, we have watched you, my wife and I especially, and we've really known and shown that there's something about you that just comes out. It's like you're playing a role, but you're becoming the role. As we used to say, the better actor does not play the part; he becomes the role, the part. That's what we see in you. You know, so that to me, you know, makes your head don't swell, Abby.
It's smoke.
So, right. Presentation. What do you think about that? So you're also presenting.
Yes. So over time, it's in as much as I call myself an actor, I've always seen myself as an entertainer, and that cuts across not just being an actor. It's you being behind the scenes, on the stage, hosting, presenting, acting. You know, people say I could do comedy, but I don't know about that. Maybe not stand up, maybe just on the screen as well. So for me, entertainment just cuts across, you know, different genres of the industry, and I have always wanted to explore this. And time happened, you know.
Time happened.
Yeah.
Time always happens.
Always happens.
Yeah. Born, when were you born? March what?
No, October 18th.
October 18th. You see, I was hoping you would say March. Like October 18th, 1987. 87?
Yes, sir.
You never old.
No, I don't rush. I don't really rush.
Okay. Now, if we look at the way acting is, what would you say your experience has been like? For example, when did you start? Then before you tell us about your experience.
When did I start? Like a normal Nigerian, I started from the womb.
Okay. I want to believe that everyone is an actor from the womb.
Absolutely.
But when they come to the world, they choose their path.
Yeah, lifestyle happens.
Okay.
When they come of age. So for me, it's been, I've always had that journey of being in church. You know, I grew up in church.
Okay.
As a Christian, so I was in the drama group. My mom used to own a school in Ibadan then. I used to coach the children. I taught, by the way, as a teacher. But then again, I used to coach the children on drama presentation, end of the year programs. So I create dramas for different classes.
Did you have a prior training before that time?
No, it just came to me naturally. And that just came from all the play as a child, and then also the movies you see, the Nollywood, the people I'm blessed to be working with now, you know, watching all of them and just wanting to do better than they're doing, wanting to do more than they're doing, wanting to tell that story, wanting to interpret what I'm seeing in my own way. And it just became you can write, you can do this, you can create this.
Okay, so you also write. That's what you're saying.
I
indirectly.
do. I do. Oh. I've just not, it's the same way presenting has happened. I've just not gotten into that space of sitting down to write.
Okay.
But I started off with writing and creating. And I draw as an artist.
You draw.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm beginning to look at you, presenter, actor, painter,
well,
drawer.
Yeah, that's a good word.
All right. Yeah, but a man of your, should I say stature? A man who has made so much for himself in such a short time, considering the fact that I think I've put in more years than you have put in your entire life, but then don't mind me. That's a geriatric man talking. You have had an experience that I'm sure you will be proud of. So let me look at the fact that you have highs, the mids, and the lows. Always your highs, your best moments.
My best moments
in acting.
Is there anything like a best moment? I'm not sure I have a best moment. That I relive? No, I'm not sure I have a best moment. I think it's more of I think it was when I would say highlights. So one of my major highlights was when I got I remember I had to be on, so I've been doing different things. I've been, a couple of Nollywood projects, went to film school, got back. I was meant to be on Tinsel. So now the character that I went to read for was meant to come in and in maybe 2 episodes. So I wasn't guaranteed that I was going to be there longer. It was 2 episodes I didn't die of, or just, and the next thing I got a call that,
continue.
They are in trouble. They are in trouble. So from there, it gave me more confidence to say, okay, there's something, it's worth pursuing. Yeah, so I'll consider that one of my highlights.
That's good, because you did not expect it.
Yeah.
And it came. Okay. So what about your lows? Should I say low lights?
Low light. That was FD. So I won't even forget this one. I won Gold Ultimate Search in 2010.
Okay.
I went for the show because I'm quite adventurous.
I remember that. Yeah.
I'm quite adventurous, and it's not necessarily a show about a talent show. It's just survivors, just be in the jungle, survive, live your life and come out tops, or just give us a show. But I knew that I needed a platform as a springboard to where I was going to. But I knew it wasn't a talent show, so I knew I needed to do more as an actor. But then again, this is a platform. At least you know me from somewhere. Then I can begin to introduce or reintroduce myself as who I want to be. Again, it's Nigeria. Once you go to a reality show, you're an entertainer, you are exposed to the industry, so people want to give you you don't know, at that point you don't know where, if you're a confused person, you don't know where to fit in. You don't know if you're an influencer or an actor or a DJ. So reality show kind of just confuses you if you're not prepared.
Okay.
But I was prepared. I wanted to be an actor. I knew that, acting was the path for me. And then I got to an audition one time. No, I met a producer. I can't remember who he was, randomly. And it was an audition. And then they asked me, have you ever been on TV before? And I said, with my full chest, I said, yeah. I went to Ultimate Search. I won the Gold Ultimate Search. And then the producer on the end says to me, not even the producer, somebody that was just on the deck said, and so because you won Ultimate Search, does that make you an actor?
Oh my God, that puts you off, I'm sure.
That made me take film school seriously, because then again, I needed knowledge.
Yes.
So that just made me realize that this is I knew that. But the question was, have you ever been on TV?
Simple.
And I've been on TV. So it's just, I just said, yeah, Ultimate Search, I won the Gold Ultimate Search. I didn't know that was set up. So the guy, I think I'd have just been very strict and being professional, because it's a film set. You're not going to waste people's time if you don't have prior experience. So it was more of, And then that just triggered me to take it. What do you have to do, right? You have to go back for theater. Do you have to look for schools around? But I always had a dream of the New York Film Academy. So it was it was time to just, activate and drop every other thing and then just go get that experience and come back.
And what was the experience like in New York Film Academy?
It was great.
Was it the Los Angeles one or the New York one?
So I did acting in Los Angeles. I did filmmaking in New York.
Okay.
But different times.
Right.
Los Angeles was great. I was in a room with in a class with different countries, different ethnicities. It was different. I learned from the Mexican, I learned from the Puerto Rican, I learned from everybody. The Brazilian,
was there any other
the
African
Indian.
there?
I was the only Nigerian.
The only Nigerian, but the only African? No?
The only African in my class. Yeah, I was the only one in my class.
Really? So what did you experience from the Mexican, for example, that was different from the Nigerian, if you were to look at Nigeria?
So watching their shows, you see how emotional they get. You see all this, the Telemundos, I've forgotten some of those titles. There were the points they were reigning in Nigeria, and which is now the new Z World, or it was the Mexican, and it just seeing someone, and most of us kind of had experiences. I wasn't showing I'd worked a little bit in Nigeria before I went. Or others came in with their full guns, like I've been an actor for 4 years, I'm just retraining, re-educating myself. So it was interesting to playing the underdog, but watching how these people can cry.
Just like that, in
a second. Emotions can go from 0 to 100 just by a conversation without even going far. And all those things just made me say, oh, so this is I see on TV is not...
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. I don't know if it's their nature, but it just, she could be laughing and then she's crying and then she's laughing and then she's crying and then she's talking and then her voice is... So I literally was absorbing what everyone was bringing to the table until the day they said we should do something on the stage, one of our projects, and then I acted. And the coach was like, have you acted before? I was like, yeah. So why have you been quiet? I said, I'm just here to so that changed my mindset. Yeah, it changed my mindset about everyone. So I saw even the Indian, I saw the exaggeration as an actor. In Mexican, the same way. I saw the emotion. I saw all of this beautiful, and it kind of gave me a different view on even acting.
Well, that may explain why some of us are recognizing you, seeing you, and really admiring the efforts you put into what you do. And let's look at Tinsel. You were like some kind of bad boyish fellow,
Was I?
I don't know. I have no opinion on this matter. So yes. What was your experience in Tinsel?
Zane. Like I said, it was one of my highlights. First, I got to play alongside the ever beautiful, talented Kunle Remi.
Okay.
And I learned a lot. She would whisper to me, even down to pronunciation. So at some point, as an Ibadan boy, as an Ibadan boy, I would say, this is not right. These things are, but she says is these. This. Hey, this is right. THIS and TH
for the plural.
Those kind of, and that's who she is, And because I'm always willing to learn, it just took off the Ibadan in me and made me start to understand certain things because it was. And I think again, everything happens for a reason. I think I was just meant to be in that space to learn so much because, like I said, that was one of the major highlights of even my career because it just kind of Zayn just took off. Literally took off.
Did that, open the floodgate for Nollywood exposure?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So which will be your Nollywood best experience, or if you like, mates now? We're in the middle belt, as it were.
Best experience. I think, before I even go, first of all, I don't even understand that question. But I'll say that I ended up being a lead on another TV show, Forbidden, and I think it all spin off from.
But you didn't plan to be a lead, or you were not planned for lead.
No, I was just called to come to read for this. But again, I said, I think it's all a spin off of the amazing job that they had seen off of Tinsel, because it was shortly after Tinsel, like I did that, and it just shows also that
Yes.
this
good.
was a major part of my growth.
Right.
Because it exposed a lot of things. But your question again is?
Which of them, in Nollywood, which of the movies, if you like, I'm now breaking it down now, would be your, I said high point, but I now said mid. You have the highs, you have the mids, and you have the lows.
The movies. I would say I'll highlight my first cinema movie experience ever, which is Fallen, alongside the super talented 𝐈𝐍𝐲𝐬𝐿.
Okay.
That was first.
𝐈𝐍𝐲𝐬𝐿 to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wellington.
I know 3 𝐈𝐍𝐲𝐬𝐿s. That's why I keep asking.
That's why I told me Wellington.
Yes.
We had the movie Fallen. That was the first time I was in cinema as an actor.
Okay.
So that's and it's one of the films that was really spoken about and still talked about till today. I still get people talking about it.
It was actually a good movie.
Yeah, it was. It was, and it was also fresh out of trying to get a balance. This was 2015, so trying to get a balance.
Yeah.
That couple of other ones, but again, the highlights of Anikulapo being a character.
Yes.
That is a character-driven.
Yeah.
Story that I had to completely be a different person entirely. Believe to be a different person entirely.
I saw a different you there. I saw a very daring person.
I did.
And then you also tried not to be emotional. But come on, Anikulapo. Did you actually put death in your pocket?
I think it was even, Sarah was shocked to have death in his pocket. I didn't understand the value of what he had. It's such an emotional drama because I would say that each time I have to talk about it, I say that I gave blood, sweat, and tears, literally. So I had times when I would bleed after set because of the terrain of where we shot. Of course, sweat is always hectic, and then tears. I was so,
real tears.
Yes, 100%. I was so
not made up tears.
Not made up tears. So fun fact. The end scene in Anikulapo where the power doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
That particular scene was the first scene we shot. So we shot the end first, and then walked back to the beginning. So you can imagine shooting.
Didn't you wonder why the last before the first?
I've wondered, but I've never really asked that question because at the end of the day, I just felt like we all came into camp fresh. Now, the way the story goes, Sarah becomes very successful and he's fresh. We were shooting it was Hamatan and it was very hot. It was cold and the sun was intense as Nigeria. It's always summer. So we're filming, so it was only nice, from my own logical explanation.
Right.
It's only logical to shoot the fresh part because the more we stayed in the village, the darker we became because of the sun, the more stressed we became. So that's better off to shoot at the beginning. Because if we had shot the beginning first, by the time we're shooting the end bit, and probably you won't get the Saro is a rich guy. So I think they worked it that way, which I think is so brilliant. But then again, for an actor, it threw me right in the wild.
That's why I asked the question, because I'm sure you did not expect it.
It threw me right in the wild. So
yes.
The scene where I realized there was no longer the power. We did the scene about 5 times, 5 takes, different angles. Each take, I broke down at that particular scene. So I didn't even need to do so much.
When you say you broke down, not health-wise, emotionally,
you
just cried like a baby, a whole man like you.
because yes, a whole man like me. But again, it wasn't at this point. It wasn't Kunle. It was
Saru.
And because I knew I'd read what I'd read, understood the script, I'd broken down the script, I'd done my homework. So now shooting the end has to be so much life that every other part following that comes before the end makes a lot of sense. So what did I do? I think I was so immersed in the character that the moment I realized that it's all said and done, you can't do this trick you've always done. Saro literally broke down. It took cut, wipe off, adjust things, they do it again, and it kept coming very naturally. One of the veterans there, Fetia Balogun, she said, I don't say I could smile, I could do any other thing, but then once I go back into it, it was so heavy. But again, I think it's because I just carried so much and I'd let Kunle go completely. So I watch it myself and I don't see me. I don't see anything I'll do now. I've seen films that I've done and I'm like, Kunle.
But the thing about Anikulapo is that it's heavily spiritual.
Yes.
And I was seeing in you someone who had a brilliant exposure to spirituality, the Christian way, spirituality, the local way. So how were we able to blend the two? I wondered.
But at first I fasted and prayed though.
Really? That you didn't become really?
Because once you're stepping into a spiritual territory, it's always good to. I cleansed. I was very I just cleansed mentally and spiritually and even physically. I just made sure I made sure I was in shape. I made sure I was in tune with what I'm doing is not ordinary. It's a different space. And I just trusted that I'm where I am meant to be.
So you were supposed to actually believe in the process. Who said the better actor does not play the part, he becomes the part. So you became the part.
Yes.
Really so.
Yes.
At a stage, actually, I asked myself, sure say they never brainwashed these boys.
Well, it entices me to be. As a matter of fact, when we went back we just finished filming the series of it, the return of it.
Yes.
I didn't necessarily have to do the same thing I did the first time. I didn't have to do the same thing I did the first time of, getting to Saro. Saro, it's already a guy that's seated in me. It's already a character that's been summoned before, that has been suppressed again, that is just there seated. So when it's time to be Saro, it came. Once I have the tribal marks, I have the costume, I have everything, it becomes I become
the part.
Yeah, become the part.
Okay, so this is Sunny Rapport Live. We have an iconic, I'm going to call you iconic all the way through, because honestly, seeing you in flesh and blood, as they say, oh boy, you have won me over. But we'll be right back. Just take a short break and we'll be right back, because this matter, it gets as it be. So, welcome to Sunny Rapport Live, featuring Kunle Remi, a man that many of us will just look at and say, man, this guy, he get one personality like this. But you cannot predetermine the kind of person he is until you hear him. Now, tell me, let's leave you a bit and go to, you were with Taints of Wax, good. And that's the DSTV production. Now, Nollywood, what do you think Nollywood would have been if African Magic, for example, was not in the equation at all? I ask this because we have African Magic 1, 2, 3, 4, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. Tell me, what do you think has brought that to the fore? Sorry, 1 second. Yes.
Where Nollywood would have been if not for African Magic?
Yes.
Nowhere. Or maybe still crawling. Because African Magic took Nollywood from DVDs to your home. So that bottom line, African Magic chased DVDs out of the market. Which is
because there's evolution.
Yes, absolutely. Right. And I think that's what we all, as actors and entertainers, as filmmakers, producers, remain grateful for, because we got more exposure, better exposure. Because African Magic is part of DSTV, which is global, to say, because people can watch from even abroad, even Europe and America. You can tune in and watch on your phone. And I think that just they play a major part in taking Africa to the world, compared to anyone else, actually.
Have you seen anything professional from the Nollywood angle against the African Magic angle? When I say professional, I used to think, honestly, I'll be honest with you, that if we did not prick, Nollywood maybe we would probably not have been the second largest, or even, I think we're the second largest film producers in the world right now. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's what's the other one?
Bollywood.
That's Indian.
Yeah, Indian. Yeah.
Then Nollywood.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood.
Yeah.
But we all aped Holly. Bolly, Nollywood. Okay. Yeah. From what you said, I think that Africa Magic. Yeah, I agree with you. They moved everybody to the global, exposure.
Yeah.
That global exposure, will Nigeria or Nollywood have been anything other than just struggling to be whatever they can be? Because it has been a one-sided production level, wouldn't you say? Putting words in your mouth now. Let me explain it. One side, Igbo dominated. Another side, Yoruba dominated. And then we're now hearing Kannywood.
Yeah.
I don't know what next will come, but Ghana would never come, sha.
Edo would still come to.
Edo would. Well, I'll be proud because I'm part of that. But I believe in Nollywood. Do you think the demarcation is too obvious? I look at the Igbo, the Yoruba, and the Hausas are trying to, make the best of it for themselves.
Yeah, it's obvious, but at the end of the day, does it pay off? Is the question.
Okay, so how can we harmonize it?
That's the work. That's one thing that African Magic has done.
Okay.
In the sense that we all have a platform where you can see each and every one of us. I have crew members that are Yoruba that work in Asaba. They live in Enugu, literally.
True.
The same way I have a couple of crew member friends that are behind the scenes people that live in Lagos. Yeah, Igbos, but they work in a Yoruba dominated set.
Okay.
And I think that's just the power of the unity of the industry, of the industry called Nollywood, which some people still haven't gotten a hang of, to understand that in unity there's more
strength. Yes,
it's about creating a circle, and not a straight row. A straight row is there's a way you can go, but a circle, it's everybody in there, which is where I give kudos to Africa Magic for, in the sense that you have Yoruba Africa Magic, you have Igbo Africa Magic, you have Epic, they have everything, and it's called what? Africa Magic.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. There's Showcase. There's Urban. There's Family.
Exactly, and the TV shows.
Tell me I don't.
Exactly. So you don't even at the point, but the goal is that everything is called Africa Magic.
Okay.
It's not called. You can call it Kannywood. You can call it Igbo Wood. They call it Africa Magic. So if you want to tune into something, if I feel like watching,
who are you, Kunle?
Who am I?
Yeah, I see you as cool, quiet, calculated. But those girls, man, those. Let's know more about you. See the way they say. Okay.
My name is Kunle.
Yes.
And I am an actor.
Is it Olukunle, Olakunle, Adekunle? Which
one? My name is 𝐒𝐭𝐴𝐍𝐿.
𝐒𝐭𝐴𝐍𝐿. I didn't even get it.
I think it's a more popular Kunle. My name is 𝐒𝐭𝐴𝐍𝐿.
Okay.
Oluwaremi.
Oluwaremi.
And I'm a gentleman, if I do say so myself.
But you behave, you act like a gentleman.
Thank you.
But the other side of you, happy-go-lucky.
Yeah,
playboyish. I'm jiving on my seat.
I'm a pretty chill person. I'm very adventurous. I love.
Can you say that again, please?
I'm a pretty chilled person.
Pretty chilled.
Yeah.
Can you explain to those of us who didn't quite go to that kind of school?
When I say pretty chill, I don't know if that's a slang, but pretty chill is better. I'm laid back. I am good. I'm happy. I'll just say something. Go lucky fellow. Just I'm about great energy. I just like the room being good, being happy.
So if I know of a young lady that looks at you and says, "Oh, I would like to," as they say in Nollywood, spend the rest of my life with this man, what would you then say?
Why would she say that?
Why would she not say that?
Quite a lot of. I mean, I have amazing people that say that or reach that. But anyway, it's not just about. Do you know me like that, like that, like that? So again, there's a thing about you.
What's like that, like that, like that?
There's a thing about a lady saying that from what she sees. Well, you know, there's always more to a person. There's always more to the content and the package. Now, I'm not selling that negatively. I'm just saying that there is more to it than. So even if that's a picture, let's be very conscious to say, not to get carried away with how do you look? Oh, he looks good. He acts this way. He does this. There's so much more. I have mood swings, for example.
You do?
Not in a bad way. I have moments. not in a bad way. I have moments, but I'm always willing to drop that to elevate the room.
While waiting for that to happen, let me find out from you, Kunle. October 18th, that's when you were born.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, are you the kind of person that would like to protect his own space? For example, somebody wants to know you better, but you're protective of your space, as they say. Do you see yourself as that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, it takes and it's the same way with me, vice versa. I like to earn being in your space. So I don't just feel entitled to be in your space. I like to earn it. So I like to understand you. I'm a very observant person. I don't walk into a room and start talking. I observe. I read your energy. Okay. I adapt.
Okay.
Convinced that you are meant to be here. Then along the journey, it won't be a question anymore because you have found that as purpose or as your journey. And of course, if you drive from VI to Lekki, you must hit a bump. You either have to slow down to go over a speed bump, or you get into a pothole, or you have to swerve. It's not just a straight road, or there's traffic.
The Nigerian road actually is a Nigerian life.
Exactly.
It's never a straight road.
Exactly.
It's not a smooth road.
Yeah.
So
some of them say, "Hello, you Misha," but you keep going, right? So you won't stop because you see a pothole. You won't stop because there's a speed bump. A speed bump is there because maybe you're moving too fast. Hey, maybe it's slow down. Maybe it's breathe. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's pray. Maybe it's stop.
So there's something deep about you. And I remember you said earlier that you grew up in the church. Well, in a church atmosphere, as it were. So how did that play off with you? Let me take this call meanwhile. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you? Thank God you called. Yes, go ahead.
My name
Your
is
name is...
Kunle, and I have a question for Kunle Remi.
Please go ahead.
And so I would like to ask, how have you managed to stay free of women's scandal as a celebrity and as a good-looking man that you are?
Thank you so much.
To stay clear, in the clear of any bad scandals regarding to women and all that bad publicity. How have you been able to do that?
Thank you so much, because you took it. He escaped me earlier, so now he's back. Thank you for bringing him back. Yes.
Hey.
Right. Hey.
What's your name again? Have we disconnected?
No. What's your name again?
Itunoloa. Thank you for that question. God is faithful.
Okay. God is faithful.
Yeah.
But that doesn't answer the question.
Well, doesn't answer the question. But let me just give reference to God first. But if there's anything, I can't say that I would never brag to be a perfect person, but again, I feel like I respect everyone I come across. I don't go out of my way to hurt you. I don't even have intentions to hurt people. I understand that I have a very vast female fan base, and I respect them. I don't take advantage of them. And I just stay true to myself. And I don't know how else to explain that, but so far so good. God has just been on my side. Because again, it's a different thing if you do certain things and people want to tarnish your image. And there's again the delicate social media world where anybody can wake up and just say something and then later come and say
like
sorry.
They did in Zoom just.
Exactly. And just come and say sorry after. Oh, I didn't know what I was doing. But I feel like I've just stayed on my own path, and I think maybe I've just come across, I've been more around smart, beautiful, intelligent women that respect themselves as much as I respect them. So it's never been the carrying CBT one around me, meaning I don't walk to where they didn't send me or I'm not meant to be.
Okay, what if it comes towards you? If it comes to you, you don't walk to where they didn't send you, but the thing sends himself or itself to you. Look at the reverse now.
Yeah, I serve a living God.
Saying what?
I serve a living God, saying that He has gone ahead of me. You see that wilderness, He has cleared it.
Really?
There is no.
You're insulated.
Yes,
You're protected.
yes, by the grace of God. It's not.
But yet you have a human heart.
100%,
and you can give way, succumb to pressure.
Well,
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just saying, because those scandals that tend to want to rear their heads, can they be anything worthy of note or even attention?
Well, no. People do it for attention. Some people, I'm just about my work being out there. Basically, I'm not about putting. I'm not trying to be. It's just about my work, and making people feel good and being happy. I don't take it. I don't know how to answer that question, but I haven't been doing anything aside from being responsible as a responsible human being.
Okay.
That I can say, but I've not done anything aside from being responsible that would be irresponsible, or I stay away as much as I can.
Okay, good. We just have about 2 minutes, less than a minute to go. What's your message for the rest of the world, especially those who watch you?
My message for the rest of the world, especially those who watch me, what I've always said, and I would say it again: do your things.
Do your thing.
That might sound very funny, like a joke, but again, at the end of the day, it still means do your things. So whatever inspires you, whatever you want to do, whatever your purpose is, whatever excites you, do your things and be happy doing it.
Kunle Remi, is that a Nollywood actor, a man who has carved whatever a niche for himself and that we all admire. He has guested us today on Sunny Rabo Live. Thank you so much. And great is your future. And may it always be well with you.
Amen.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. Have a great day, all of you.
Have a fantastic day.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more. Leave a comment and like. Thank you.